What's up guys, welcome to today's video. Today we're back with a Silver Surfer how-to guide. This is a 7-star maxed out rank 1, as you can see on the side there. Rank 1, level 25. Sort of a how to use, since he is a new 7-star. He might be the first 7-star that you pull or a new 7-star that you pull that you want to sort of know how to use. So this will just be a little guide on that. So let's jump in. Sig ability, first off, all buffs at 200 sig have 50% increased potency. Some passives which are really nice. He takes no damage from Cold Snap, Incinerate and Shock, and they count as unique buffs, so this comes in handy later on. Each hit deals a burst of 452 energy damage for each unique buff he has. So if you can rank up, get all of the unique buffs, which is 6, and a shock, which is 7, you're looking at 7 times 5, about 3,500 energy damage for each hit, which is really, really nice. At the start of the fight, he generates an indefinite power cosmic buff. It is always there, and then when you lose it by throwing a heavy attack and phasing, or by or in any other way, it then returns in 9 seconds. While it's active, you rotate between combat power rate, fury and armor up. These icons look quite different on screen, which we'll get to explaining in a minute. And then when you throw your SP1, you get 2 of those of the corresponding icon that is in rotation at the time. Consuming the power cosmic buff converts that dormant icon into an active buff. So if you throw your special 1, which if we go down to the special 1, consumes the power cosmic buff and creates 2 buffs based on that. So again, easier to understand a bit more in the gameplay, but still makes a bit more sense. Rotating buffs, this is where sort of the detail comes in. If you refresh the expiry of all active buffs when creating a rotating buff that doesn't already exist, so if you've got 2 furies and 2 armor ups, getting those 2 combat power rates refreshes them all, so that's a good way of keeping on top of it. The Fury increases your attack by 1,809 for 24 seconds. Your armor up increases your armor rating by 2,500, and you get an extra 15% combat power rate with that one. So special attacks pause the duration of the power cosmic buff cooldown and all active buffs. The special 2, or the special 1 I should say, if available, consume the power cosmic buff and create 2 buffs, which we've already said. And if there are 3 unique buffs, so if you've got the combat power, fury and armor up, you get a vigilance, which allows you to be a miss counter, which is really nice. The SP2 increases the potency of any bursts of energy or physical damage by 180%. So you'll see this, and that's sort of where all the damage comes in, those massive SP2s. And if you have at least 3 unique buffs, again, you'll also get an unblockable, which is quite nice if you're a bit under the cosh and you need to throw that SP2. Your SP3 is quite, I would say, not too important. You can use it. It does make your damage a bit more, but it's more for long fights. You gain an aptitude buff, increasing the potency of Silver Surfer's Fury, Armor Up and Precision, and re-trigger for 24 seconds, then re-trigger each of Silver Surfer's active rotating buffs. So each aptitude buff on Silver Surfer also increases the potency of his combat power rate by 25%. So if you've got 1 aptitude buff, you will get an extra 25%, plus the combat power rate here, 15%. You're increasing it by quite a lot. Any nice synergies he has? He does indeed have a few nice ones. The Heralds of Galactus is very, very nice. If he was to lose more than 25%, he consumes the power cosmic buff and gains an indestructible buff. The Hulk one is really good, as it makes Silver Surfer's cooldown reduced the power cosmic buff by 3 seconds to 6. That does actually make quite a lot of difference if you when you're playing. And then we've also got his Mysterio. Board attacks generate 30% less power, which isn't too important. So really you're looking at CGR and Hulk or Doctor Strange for the good synergies. So let's now jump into the gameplay, explain it a bit more, and yeah, remember this is all 7-star gameplay, so the damage will be a bit high, but this will really be so you can see what you're getting into when you get a Silver Surfer. So jumping into this first fight against Winter Soldier, he has a larger health pool, so it does mean that we can sort of showcase it a bit easier. Silver Surfer is quite tricky to get hold of, but if you do, then he is really quite useful. So there you can see the Power Cosmic buff is active. You see that Fury is rotating now, the armor up, then the combat power rate. What I always like to do is once you get to your special one, you want to try and throw it on the Fury is how I like to start. There, I've just not done that. I've started on the armor up. The armor up can be quite handy if you're taking on an opponent who is very strong. As you'll see, if Winter Soldier does hit me, he'll do hardly any damage. Then you have to wait for the power cosmic buff to refresh. So that's why that extra 6 seconds with Hulk makes a big, or extra, 3 seconds you save makes a big difference. It's now done, so you can then start again. So here, I've actually mucked this up a little bit. I've just gone with a big SP2 anyway, just to show you the sort of base damage on just an armor up. So what you want to do is you want to then throw another special one on that Fury. It refreshes your armor up. It gives you 2 Furies as well. So that's where the big damage comes. You can see that I've already thrown a heavy attack to put those 3 armor breaks on. That also uses the Power Cosmic buff, but good thing about that is it also gives you a fresh buff. So say there, I've thrown an SP1 on the Furies, I've refreshed my Furies. Hasn't refreshed my armor ups because they are not it's not a new buff, it has to be a new one. Yeah, so you can see I've got the Vigilance because I've got 4 unique buffs there. I'm throwing SP1 straight away to get that power gain. The combat power rates are now are refreshed. And now I want to build up to my SP2 basically as quick as possible, and then I want to throw that into Winter Soldier to do big damage. So you'll see there, phase, put the armor breaks on. I want to come out, throw my SP2. You can see there that's about 30-40k damage on an SP2 while fully ranked up. So quite a lot of damage is had there. So now we'll jump into the next clip where you can you play it a bit differently, but hopefully the sort of idea of Silver Surfer there makes quite a lot of sense to you guys. It's about build SP1 to get 2 of each buff. You can also throw a heavy attack to put the armor breaks on and get the buff. But really it's just about waiting for that Power Cosmic buff to sort of refresh, and then once it's refreshed, throwing that SP1 into whatever buff you haven't got so far. So let's jump into this next little bit, where we will put Hulk and I believe it's CGR in, just to show you a little bit of what the Synergies can do. So you can see the Power Cosmic buff here will be only at 6 seconds. You can already see the difference it's making. I've thrown a heavy, I've put those armor breaks on, and I've put a Fury on, and then it's already refreshed. So now I'm throwing my SP1 to get that armor up, to basically reduce the damage I take while trying to sort of wait out that Power Cosmic buff. So I would highly recommend you either go with the combat power rate or the armor up. Combat power rate allows you to get to that SP1 quicker, and the armor up allows you to take more hits if you're sort of waiting. So you can see here I'm fully refreshed. That's already way quicker than in the last fight. I'm doing a lot of bursts of damage there as well because of those. I've now got 6 buffs. Really, this has taken no time at all, so it's worked perfectly. Ideally here, I'd want to throw a heavy attack to put those armor breaks on, but still, I did a ton of damage with that SP2. So let's see it a bit more in fights that aren't Winter Soldier and see how it works. So finally, we've got this Carnage. This is a bit of a short one from the side quest. So here, with the short fights, I always like to start with the Furies if I can. So, come out of here, throw the SP1 into the Furies. That just allows you to do more damage quicker while you're waiting for that Power Cosmic buff to refresh. I've put the armor breaks on, so I could basically maximize the amount of damage that I'm doing. Obviously, every time you throw that SP1 and get a new unique buff, you also get armor breaks as well. So that's a good way of keeping them on. So here, I'm already rotated through all of them. Just need to get that armor break, the armor up buff, which I want to do there. I'm fully ramped up. I've got the Vigilance. If I have an SP2, it will be unblockable. I'm doing a ton of burst damage. which is perfect. I've just got to wait for my SP2 to charge up. Unfortunately, I got hit there by the Carnage and just continuously getting hit apparently. So then now I want to throw my SP2 and it should almost finish him off. And because I'm unblockable, I can dash right in and finish him. So that will do it for this little how to use. Hopefully you guys fully understand it. There will be a list in the description of sort of just a little list off so you can remember it that way. I always find writing it down helps me remember. Silver Surfer is a bit more of a prestige champ, you know, that SP3 is also quite useful, as we mentioned. If you want to use that in long fights, you want to come over and put those aptitude on, increase how much damage you're doing. That does really, really help. I think for the shorter fights and say for the Winter Soldiers, it's easier just to build up with your SP1s, get all those buffs, and then and throw an SP2 to do big damage that way. Hopefully this video has helped you out. If it has, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new around here. I'd massively appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and check the description for links for Twitter, Discord, and the listed version of how to use Silver Surfer. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you later. Goodbye.